We've got a present-day hardcore legend stepping out of the time machine, heading back to the chaos of the 80s and 90s to take on 5 hardcore legends from the past. But before we fire that thing up, let's cut to our opener.
This is Two Views Wrestling. Let's get into it.
Give me a hell yeah! What?
Hangman Adam Page is known for a lot of things: wrestling superstar, father, husband, teacher, a functioning alcoholic channeling his inner Stone Cold Steve Austin, and maybe the king of hardcore. Time for me to tag in my partner and let him break down the new hardcore legend of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at since the formation of All Elite Wrestling, Hangman has dominated this Texas death match. It's essentially a no-rules, hardcore, anything-goes match. He's had some of the most beautifully grotesque battles in the history of wrestling. I feel like his wars with Swerve Strickland, Jon Moxley, we were very close to witnessing a murder. And looking at his track record in these types of matches, it really got me thinking about other legendary tough guys, maniacs, and psychos that could try to beat Hangman at his own game. So, we had an executive board meeting and decided to fire up our time machine and take Hangman back in time for some legendary battles, looking at the 5 matches that we would want to see.
Before we start this cowboy shit, remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. We are Two Cold Scorpios' favorite wrestling show on YouTube. Now let's fire up the time machine, pass the bottle of whiskey, chase it with some Montucky, and go back in time for some wrestling wars.
Coming in at number 5, we have Bam Bam Bigelow. Hangman versus the Beast from the East. Texas death match. You put that on a marquee and you are guaranteed a sellout. Bam Bam was a great talent, standing over 6 feet and weighing over 350 pounds. Adding that, he had the flame gear on, and he even had flames tattooed on his head. He was a menacing sight for sure. Bigelow was very good in the ring and had classic wrestling matches against the likes of Barry Windham, Bret Hart, and Lawrence Taylor. But when he made the jump to Extreme Championship Wrestling, he showed that the Beast could brawl with the best of them. He had some memorable hardcore fights with RVD, Taz, Spike Dudley, and Shane Douglas. And I, for one, think he would make a great opponent for Hangman Page. Page would have his hands full with Bigelow, not only the size and brawling, but also high-flying moves. Bigelow was known to bust out diving headbutts and moonsaults when needed. Hangman would have to cowboy up and bring the fight to the Beast. This would be a knockdown, drag-out fight. I don't know who would win this death match, but I know both guys would be bloodied, battered, and bruised.
The thing that I love about Hangman Page is his character work. He feels and carries himself as the hero underdog role so well. And Bam Bam works really well to me as a counterfoil to him, where you got this matchup that feels like a barroom brawl between a blue collar sun up to sundown worker and Adam Hangman Page to this guy that's going to be a bully leader of a motorcycle gang in Bam Bam Bigelow. And I think that feud leading to a hardcore Texas death match really sets up Hangman Page's character so well.
Yeah, and I like that comparison you made. It's something you could probably see in a Texas bar, like a cowboy and a tatted up motorcycle guy just getting drunk, getting that aggression out from their job, their old lady, whatever, and just beating each other into the emergency room, essentially.
Hangman sticking up for the common man, like, hey, you're not going to bully everyone in this bar. I'll beat the shit out of you. And he doesn't look like he could put up a fight, but then he wins. What's number 4?
For number 4, we have Terry Funk. This match would be chock full of cowboy shit. A Texas death match is right up the alley for the Funker. Yeah, Terry Funk was a good wrestler, and he even held the NWA World title. But he was best known as a crazy brawler. Bruiser Brody, Jerry Lawler, Dusty Rhodes, and Cactus Jack are just some of the names that lost years of their lives battling Terry Funk. Hell, Funk even scrapped with Sylvester Stallone and Patrick Swayze. I think this would be a fun match. Like I said, Funk could wrestle and brawl, so we could start off with some old school grappling and end up with some of the most stomach-wrenching violence we have ever seen. Both of these guys had wars that would make you cringe. Hangman drinking the blood of Swerve and Funk wrapped in barbed wire with Sabu are both scenes that are hard to watch. This match would feature spinning toe holds, lariats, moonsaults, and flaming branding irons. Everything you want in a Texas death match. Adam Page graduated from Virginia Tech with a degree, and after this match, he would have a master's degree in violence from Funk U.
I really like that last line because to me that's what stood out to me for this match. I'm mostly aware of Terry Funk as Chainsaw Charlie or weird comedy bits I've seen in WCW with the hardcore division. So when I was seeing this match on your list, it didn't necessarily hit for me storyline wise like Bam Bam and Hangman where I thought that would be money. This one hit for me where I would get my money's worth once the bell rang. Then I'd be like, oh shit, that was an amazing match. Where maybe I'm not so hyped going in, but coming out, I'm like, oh, I got to see that shit again.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're definitely going to get crazy stuff here. Maybe even before the bell. If Hangman brings a horse down to the ring, Terry Funk's been known to slap and fight a horse. So, who knows? That horse could have got sucker punched from the get-go, and you'd just be off and running.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is Vader. It's time. It's time. It's time for someone to go to the hospital. That's exactly where one, if not both of these guys would end up. Vader left a trail of devastation everywhere he went. He was a monster that terrorized Japan, Europe, and the U.S. He ripped off Cactus Jack's ear. He broke backs and necks. He even had his own eye ripped out of the socket against Stan Hansen. And yeah, he finished that match. To say Hangman would have his hands full is an understatement. Vader was big, strong, explosive, and merciless. And on top of that, he was known to bust out some moonsaults and top rope maneuvers. Hangman would be in the fight of his life. Vader had my favorite Texas death match with Cactus Jack in WCW. It held that honor for about 30 years until I saw Hangman and Swerve top it. So, 2 of the greatest Texas deathmatch combatants ever makes this a must-see match. It would be brutal, violent, and bloody. Hopefully the local medical facility has enough doctors on hand to stitch these 2 warriors back together.
This was my favorite choice on your list because it gives me those vibes of the feud of Surfer Sting and Fader where you just got this brawling underdog baby face and a real life monster going against each other. And I know that Sting, like he had the bleach blonde hair and the face paint, and it's like a little over the top, kind of like Ultimate Warrior-esque. But for me, Surfer Sting always felt like a real life underdog that was a man of the people, where I think Hangman pulls that off so well currently in today's wrestling landscape. To me, Hangman is the best babyface in wrestling right now, and it's because of that everyday man feel that he is able to show on screen. So him going against a monster like Fader, like a real life monster, is just very cool to me.
I'm surprised you disrespected Cody Rhodes with that babyface statement, but
Cody Rhodes gets hate online. I see it. I don't really see anyone hate Hangman.
But your comparison with Sting is great because we've talked before about how we feel like Hangman's probably the Sting of AEW. He's going to be that trusted and loyal employee right to the end or end of his career or however that plays out. And it would kind of feel that way, like Vader and Sting, Sting kept coming back and not giving up against Vader. And that's what Hangman would do. It's not so much like you said with Ultimate Warrior or even Hulk Hogan reaching out to this higher power or cosmic force or whatever. It's just real dudes with heart that don't want to let anybody down. So I feel like that's how this would play out.
Also, not to spoil your number 2 and number 1, but with this one felt like it would be the most hard hitting, right?
Oh yeah, I think with number 1 and 2, there's going to be weapons. There's going to be anarchy and plunder and chaos. I feel like with Vader and Hangman, that's majority just going to be a fist fight, and it's
I wish, dude. Talking about this is the match I wish we could see.
Yeah, I mean, we got Vader and Will Ospreay. I wish we would have got Vader and Hangman Page, but
What's number 2?
number 2 is Sabu. Homicidal, suicidal, genocidal. Oh my. Sabu had violence in his DNA. This hardcore madman was the nephew of another hardcore madman, the Sheik. Cody Rhodes says wrestling has more than one royal family. Well, this family built their kingdom on carnage. Sabu would be throwing so many things at Hangman it would make his head spin. Triple jump moonsaults, springboard Arabian facebusters, barbed wire, fire. Nothing is too far for Sabu. Hangman's best bet would be to use his size and try to make this resemble a wrestling match as much as possible. Sabu could wrestle well enough, but he would be itching to bring out the plunder and start flying around the ring. Sabu had iconic wars with the likes of Terry Funk, Taz, Cactus Jack, and Abyss, just to name a few. I think a Texas death match with Hangman Page would go down as one of the most violent, brutal matches ever. Let's just hope the Sheik doesn't show up somehow.
Sabu is a lot like Terry Funk for me, where I'm not too familiar with their character work. I've seen Sabu's matches, but his promos, I honestly can't think that come to my mind.
There are no promos. Sabu didn't talk,
So I don't know how I would feel leading into the match, but I do think the match would be cool. And what I would find interesting is Hangman Page's character having to push himself to a place where he might have to do some really deranged things to put this man away. That's what I would be interested in seeing.
And that's exactly what you're going to get. I mean, Sabu, he had his bicep ripped open in a match. He taped it up. I believe that he broke his jaw and he taped it together. And insane things. I mean, you almost have to damn near kill Sabu to put him away. And I want the Sabu that was brought out on a dolly cart chained to it, like some sort of animal they captured in the wild, And I just feel like the images of that and Hangman standing across the ring from it kind of give you goosebumps just thinking about the violence we're about to see.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because how you're describing Sabu right now. And I'm like, his opponent, Hangman Page, is just a high school teacher who's about to put in this work, dude. He's like, I'm supposed to be teaching math class right now, but if I gotta fuck this dude up, that's what I'm gonna do, and he'll find a way to do it. What's number 1?
Coming in at number 1, we have the most dangerous pick, Cactus Jack. Hangman Adam Page has made the Texas death match his, but this guy right here, he's the king of the death match. It doesn't matter where it is. Texas, Mexico, Japan, Dollywood, Mars, Cactus Jack is the king of it. He had his ear ripped off. He got powerbombed on concrete. He let Vader break his nose with bare-knuckle punches. He's even been blown up with exploding barbed wire boards. Cactus Jack is the greatest hardcore wrestler of all time, in my opinion. I think Hangman has a chance to beat the other guys on this list, but I think Jack is just too much for him. Cactus Jack would go to lengths Hangman has never seen to win the match. Sure, we have seen Hangman do some crazy things against Swerve, Mox, and MJF, but there were times when we thought Cactus Jack was dead, and then he got back up. Cactus Jack's fights with Terry Funk looked like crime scenes by the final bell. He also had classic hardcore matches against fellow hardcore stars like Raven, Sandman, Sabu, and Abdullah the Butcher. I'm pretty sure Cactus Jack would win this Texas death match, and I'm certain that Hangman would have nightmares of this one for the rest of his life. Bang, bang.
So with this choice, what I wanted to ask you was, looking at these 5, I'm not the biggest Cactus Jack fan, but I thought this one probably would be number 1 on most people's list. The question I have for you, though, being the historian of wrestling, would this feud be money like the Swerve and Hangman Page feud? Like, everyone loves that feud. Could Cactus Jack and Hangman have this crazy mental war game feud that leads into just an insane, violent match?
Oh yeah, I think that's an underrated thing for Cactus Jack. I think he was great at mind games. I think he was great at promos. So I think that's a big factor that would help him win. Is I think him playing those mind games and cutting these great promos on Hangman Page just to get in his head before the violence even starts would be a huge edge for Cactus Jack.
I also thought this match could maybe elevate Hangman Page to, you know how Mick Foley was able to have these hardcore matches with The Rock and Triple H that put them over. This could maybe get Hangman to another level where he enters iconic wrestling.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Even going further back with Sting, I think Sting surviving brawls with Cactus Jack elevated him and showcased this other side of him. We've seen this side of Hangman Page, with the previous Texas death matches and the violence. But like I said, it's a whole nother level with Cactus Jack, and just coming out of it alive, I think, would be a huge bonus for Hangman Page. Even if he didn't win, just, living to tell the story, living to fight another day would elevate him.
Those are 5 hardcore legends we would want to see Hangman tangle it up with. Let us know in the comments which one you would be most hyped for. Is it Fader like me? Or is it Cactus Jack? Or let us know if it's someone else you'd want to see Hangman go back in time and have a hardcore match with.
That's another round of Two Views Wrestling with Tim and Greg. If you like the show, hit follow and share it with a fellow fan. Got a hot take or match request? Send it in. Until next time, keep the energy up and the debates hotter.